Welcome to Buy, Hold, Sell, brought to you by Livewire Markets. My name's James Marley, and today we're going looking for that thing that you all love, a little bit of growth. It's hard to find in the low growth world, but to help me find some growth in the ASX market, I've got Matthew Haupt from Wilson Asset Management and Scott Olsen from Firetrail. Scott, let's start with you. QBE, insurance, hasn't been a great time for insurers, but maybe a bit of bad news in the past, some growth opportunities ahead. Buy, hold or sell?
Yeah, it's a buy for us. Really kind of like insurance as a space at the moment. I think it's been a bit forgotten with the bank rally, but what we've been seeing for the last couple of years is pricing increases globally. QBE's participated in that, and at the same time, they've improved their business quite markedly on an underlying basis. We just haven't seen it in the reported numbers. So I think over the next year or two, you are going to start to see that emerge and drive some really strong earnings upside. So I think it's a good buy.
It's a buy there. Pricing power is the kind of thing you want to have in a reflationary environment. Buy, hold or sell on QBE?
I'm going to go with strong buy. I think the rates are going to go up. You got premiums going up. I mean, everything's a tailwind at the moment. So for me, they're going through the business interruption insurance disaster, which was last year. Everything's moving in their favour at the moment. So strong buy.
Okay. We're being told, load up on the credit. Latitude Financial, it's one group that has tried to make its way onto the ASX a few times. Finally got there. Probably wish they didn't now. Stock's been a bit off. Buy, hold or sell on Latitude?
I'm going to go sell. I don't know it that well, but that space for me, you just don't want to play in that space at this stage. The economic recovery may come through stronger, so they may be okay for longer. But for me, we like to invest in strong franchises with accessible funding and cheap funding. So for me, it's not a buy at all.
Okay. New IPO, Latitude, buy, hold or sell, Scott?
A hold for me. It's not expensive, so I think that's in its favour. But yeah, when we look at the business over the past year, I think COVID had some positive impacts on the business and some negative impacts. But that makes it really hard to know what the underlying growth trajectory is. So I just struggle to figure out where that goes. But yeah, given the valuation, I wouldn't be selling it, but it's just a hold.
Okay. One sector that's been full of growth is buy now, pay later. It's been hard to keep up. Even after the recent pullback, over a couple of years, it's been a standout sector. We'll talk about Zip, the second player in the market. Buy, hold or sell?
Hold as well for me, given the pullback. I guess I was probably a bit wrong on that one on the way up, but yeah, my views are still the same. I think regulation and competition are real risks in that sector, and they are doing a good job at expanding overseas, but I just think I can't justify the valuation at the moment. We'll wait and watch and see if it gets cheaper.
Okay. Matt, I know in the past you've not been super keen on buy now, pay later. Zip, a bit cheaper than it was at the start of the year. Buy, hold or sell?
Sell, still not interested. I just look at the space, capital's flooding in, the share counts of these companies are going up, and I just see margins at risk here. So all these bullish forecasts of growth, I think you've got to trim your margins by 50-odd%. So I just can't see a case for these companies.
Okay, let's talk about Macquarie Bank, other end of the scale. It's been bulletproof, it's been a stellar performer and quite dynamic with how they're looking to get ahead of some of the growth opportunities coming through. Buy, hold or sell?
I hate to say it, but hold. Waiting for a cheaper entry. I think Macquarie, they have an incredible habit of just getting earnings upon earnings. You had the big freeze event which upgraded earnings, but then they got these new realisations next year. So the underlying earnings trajectory is still positive, and they are great at doing this. But for me, it's just a little bit expensive and just trying to wait for a better entry point.
Okay. Same question for you, Macquarie. Buy, hold or sell?
Yeah, I hate to have another one, but that's a hold as well. I mean, it's a great business. They're very good at being exposed to the right thematics, and I think thematically they are in a great place. Just valuation has always been tough for us. So yeah, keep an eye on it, but I think at the moment that's still a hold.
Okay. Well, listen, let's go away from some of the growth ideas into something a little bit beaten down. It's been a tough period, a bit of a shake-up. Got a stock out there that has been beaten up that you think is a candidate for a turnaround?
Yeah, it's another insurance stock. It's IAG. That one, it was, I guess, market darling's a bit of a strong term for an insurer, but it was thought of as the quality insurance play. It traded at a premium to the market. It's now at quite a hefty discount for a range of reasons, but the most important thing for us is that underlying margins improve, and what we're seeing in terms of pricing suggests that can happen over the next few years. The market doesn't have that in numbers at the moment, and on top of that, the COVID provisions they raised are very conservative. I think they come back to shareholders over time as well.
Okay, Matt, same question for you. Something that's beaten down, due for a turnaround?
Yeah, I hate to say the same thing, but IAG as well looks incredibly attractive at these levels. If they can survive to 30th of June without another cat event, they're pretty well safe for this year. So the insurers feel like the Aussie banks maybe 6-9 months ago, they haven't had the re-rating yet. So once we clear business interruption insurance, the pricing is favourable. They will be in an incredibly better position going forward over the next 12-18 months. So you will get the re-rate, but it's just going to take a little bit of time.
Well, folks, if there's one thing I've taken from my guest today is that the insurance sector is back on their radar. Pricing power is something that you're going to want to have, and these two, both like QBE and IAG. And just remember, if you're enjoying Buy, Hold, Sell, why not hit subscribe on the YouTube channel? We're putting up fresh content every week, and we'd love to see you there.